Hey everyone, what's up? Charley Murdock here. I'm going to take you through a modern draft league today. We're going to be playing Bant Eldrazi. This deck is awesome, definitely one of the best in modern. I don't think there's a best deck currently, but this one certainly ranks up there as top tier. I'm going to go through a few things about my list here. This is tuned a little bit to be better against online by a couple cards. And I have incorporated some information from other well-respected authors and pilots of this deck as well. I think the list is pretty tight. Like the core of the deck is 3 or 4 Drowner of Hope, obviously 4 of the Reality Smasher and Thought Knots here, 4 Matter Reshaper, 4 Displacer. I guess there could be an argument for going to 3, but everywhere I've seen it's gone 4, and I still want 4. 1 Spellskite, some lists will run 2. That's kind of a flex option. The 4 Noble Hierarchs, the 4 Age Historians, which is just great. It's the best cantrip in modern and possibly magic if your deck's built around it. Path Exile is a removal spell, of course. Then I saw this today. I'm going to try it out here for the first time. I think that's pretty neat to have a little bit of game against Blood Moon to be able to cast it, have the colorless, and it is a 1/1 as opposed to a 0/1 birds. So we're definitely sacrificing being able to painlessly cast Path to Exile and Ancient Stirrings off of the Mana Dork, but I think there's enough upside here between the 1/1 body and the fact that it can give us some colorless mana in some corner cases. I mean, there's still even cases where you end up with hands like Hallowed Fountain, Forest, and Temple Garden, and you could have this now and you'd be able to theoretically cast these. It's still a little sketchy, but um, it could possibly come up. Anyway, so that's the core of the deck. We got the Engineered Explosives main, which most things are moving towards, and this card is just so versatile and so good at answering so many things. I think it's correct, especially having one we can find off Ancient Stirrings means it's going to show up even more often. Um, and then if it's not too useful, it's only one. We have 2 more on the board to bring in when we're sure we know what we want. So over here on the board, I've got kind of a weird split. I wouldn't recommend this exact configuration. I'm still trying to get a feel for what's good, what's not. I've played with Unified Well a little bit. It's been okay. I definitely like the negates, just kind of no nonsense. Just get your spell out of here. Still cheap enough to matter in modern. Stubborn Denial, I'm still holding on to 1 because it's really good against burn and a few other decks, but it has been a bit underwhelming, and this number could go down to 0, especially if I were playing like a Grand Prix or something where I wasn't expecting as many decks like that. I'd probably do that. And then Gutshot, really good against Affinity, which is a pretty close matchup. If you recall back during Eldrazi Winter, the one deck that could really keep up with the old better version of the Eldrazi deck was Affinity. So being able to pick off their Vault Scourge or pick off their Steel Overseer is pretty huge. And it's just nice to be able, anything you can do with Phyrexian mana is generally pretty, I mean, you're cheating, but in a legal way. 3 Stony Silence, again, Affinity. Better on the play than the draw, but it's still just the best card you could have. I've also played with Fracturing Gust some. I do like it, especially if you happen to get paired against Bogles, which is a little bit more online than you're going to see in paper, but currently, it's not in the 15. Then I've got the 2 Rest in Peace and the 1 Grafdigger's Cage. It's possible it's supposed to be 2 Cage, 1 Rest in Peace, just because of being able to find it off Stirrings. But Rest in Peace is so much more devastating to Dredge decks and a lot of other decks. It's just a higher power version. Then the Blessed Alliance is again a nod to half the decks you're going to see online. I think it's probably still fine to run at a Grand Prix, but I would be maybe looking to go a little bit more. Like probably Elspeth could take these slots here. If I expect to see more mid-range matchups or more mirror matches, I could run these. I'm currently not running World Breaker either, so I am definitely leaving a hole here consciously to the mid-range matchups, a little bit of a concession. A little bit of concession to the mirror as well. The World Breaker can deal with an opposing worship, which I'm also not running. I've not really liked that plan. I don't think it's. I think it's not as. The surprise factor is kind of gone. I think people know what's up now. So, anyways, this is where we're going to be running. So stay tuned, and we'll jump into round 1.